The summer season might be coming to an end, and for some of you, school has reared its ugly head, but rest assured, while you're working hard in class, we'll be working hard on getting some new product. Let's take a look. First things first, you might notice a few more orange tips than usual. We don't need them here in Canada, but these guns were meant for the US market. Most of them are pretty easy to remove, revealing a standard 14mm negative thread underneath, but some of them, like the VFC Avalons, do have the orange tips glued into place. We found the easiest way to remove them is just to drop the flash hider into a cup of boiling water. This softens up the glue, making it a little easier to remove, and then just simply replace with a muzzle device of your choosing. Speaking of muzzle devices, for any fans of the big cans, we have the E&C KAC style quick detach suppressors. It's not a new design by any stretch, but this style is usually plagued with a pretty bad amount of play. E&C fit and finish does not disappoint, and the ball bearings make for a nice tight fit. It's a heavy full metal build that I think could add a nice touch to your build. Coming from G&G, we have M-LOK 45-degree rail mount. Personally, I like mounting my weapon light at an offset. It's a little lower profile, and personally I really dig the look. Most M-LOK rails don't have a 45-degree slot, and that's where this little guy comes in. It's a polymer build, so it doesn't add much weight at all, but I'm glad to report that it has zero flex. G&G Bio BBs are one of the most consistent bios we've tested, and a lot of us like to run them for outdoor games. Previously, the heaviest weight we had was 0.33, so I'm glad we got some 0.40s, which are perfect for both actions and DMR builds. If you haven't tried using heavier weight ammo, I highly recommend giving it a shot, pun intended. It tends to carry momentum a little better for longer range shots, and just don't forget to readjust your hop-up accordingly. Next up, we have some pistol upgrade parts. We got the Lalax 9-ball 6.00mm tight bore barrels. These are from the same guys in Japan that make Prometheus barrels, so you just know they're gonna be good. For longer ranges, you typically want something like a 6.03mm barrel, so your BB rides on a cushion of air in your inner barrel for the most consistent backspin. But for shorter ranges, many people swear by precision tight bores that also give you a bit more power as well. Be careful though, you must use extremely high quality ammo, as there's almost no space between the BB and the barrel. At the moment, we have two sizes, 112.5mm, which is high cap of 5.1, and also 97mm, which is Glock 17. The inner barrel is only as good as the hop-up bucking it's paired with, and Maple Leaf Decepticon buckings have a really good reputation. With the included C-clip, it makes a really tight seal around the inner barrel for a nice consistent power output. The different degree ratings refers to the hardness of the compound. Typically, the higher velocity you're shooting, the higher degree compound you want to be going with. 60 degrees is pretty common for green gas pistols. That being said, a lot of guys like running a softer compound even for higher velocities because it tends to grip the BB better, providing more backspin even at a lower hop-up setting. But of course, it will wear out faster, similar to using a softer compound tire in your car. If you find yourself consistently maxing out your hop-up for heavier ammo, consider picking up the RA-Tech I-Key. It's essentially a little spacer that sits underneath your hop-up arm, not only providing more pressure, but a more even pressure around your bucking, which prevents the dreaded sideways hop. Moving right along, we have the Ace-Tech Lighter S Mini Tracer Unit. Pistol-sized tracer units are really picking up in popularity, not just for pistols, but because they're so small, a lot of guys just leave them right on their rifles instead of putting on a tracer unit for when they want to run tracers. If you've been waiting for the very popular SiTac holsters to come back into stock, good news, we got these Ammo Max holsters, which are essentially rebranded SiTac holsters straight from the same factory. How do I know? It says so right on the packaging. This means it'll be compatible with all SiTac accessories like drop leg panels and belt loop attachments. We have models for the SIG 226, Glock 17, as well as the 1911. Next up, we just got a shipment of highly requested GHK gas rifles. We got the AK, we got the AUG. Check out our website for all the available models. Now, I'll admit I don't have much personal experience with them, but I do know they are one of the most sought after gas blowback rifles. Now, they certainly don't come cheap, but picking one up, you certainly feel the build quality that your money's going into. The AKs use stamped steel receivers from legendary LCT, so if you've always wanted the build of an LCT, but the realism of a gas blowback rifle, this just might be your answer. Speaking of LCTs, if you're on a tighter budget, we just got in the AK-74M and V with OD furniture. At just over 400 bucks Canadian, it's one of the most affordable ways to get into the LCT game. Finally, another highly requested item, we got in the VFC Avalon Gen 2s, available in a few different flavors. The Avalon series is VFC's flagship lineup with integrated MOSFET unit and top-tier components. The Gen 1 has a MOSFET unit in the back of the mech box, and the Gen 2 moved that MOSFET unit closer to the trigger contacts, though it is not a microswitch trigger. What it is though is a twin MOSFET design capable of handling 40 volts and 140 amps, which is honestly overkill for most people anyway. Another difference is the inclusion of an ambidextrous mag release and a big ol' button on the right side. What I really like is the ability to fine-tune the travel on your mag release for consistent mag drops. If you already own a Gen 1 Avalon, I wouldn't say the Gen 2 is that much of an upgrade, but if you're coming from a mid-tier AEG looking to get a high-end AEG, then the Avalon Gen 2 makes an excellent case for itself. That's it for today. Remember to regularly check the Fresh 50 as we're always getting new stuff in. As always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next one.